welcome to your daily gaming update for Sunday, June 11th, 2023, Part 2. Part 2 provides details on the PC Gaming Show by PC Gamer that occurred June 11th, 12:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I am your host, Joe. The sources for these updates are in the description. The channel has the following highlights from the showcase. The PC Gaming Show this year, 2023, included the reveal of more than 20 games. A new trailer for Frostpunk 2 was debuted, showing the grim city management that takes place in the game. Viewers witness the age of oil and its approach to the game's setting that will bring with it new disasters, difficult edicts, and more. The game has a release window of 2024 next year. Teardown has an update. A creative mode is coming to the game. Players can knock down objects, rebuild objects, and build up objects as well. A new story trailer from Nivalis debuted that showed players an immersive cyberpunk life. The game is a sim and takes place in a hazy neon city. The game has a release window of 2024. Jumplight Odyssey debuted, and it is a spaceship roguelite game with space combat. Players defend their individual space colonies in galactic battles. The game releases on June 19th this year, 2023. Road to Vostok, a hardcore survival FPS debuted. Viewers observed stocked bunkers and tense combat. A demo is available on Steam for this game. Ebenezer and the Invisible World had footage shown, and it is an anime interpretation of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. Warhaven had footage shown and is a PvP fantasy combat game. Those interested will have a chance to try the game's 16v16 Medieval Mayhem from June 19th to 26th during Steam Next Fest. Diesel Legacy had footage shown and is a new 2v2 fighting game that takes a new form. Players duel against a pair of opponents. Players play cooperatively during training, story mode, and arcade. The game is presently in open beta until June 18th. Dwarf premiered, and this is a throwback to the RTS game. New gameplay was shared with viewers. Sulphur, a single-player extraction FPS that encompasses a charming and cartoonesque art style, had footage shown. Players traverse through levels to acquire guns, gear, and loot. However, if a player perishes, then he or she loses all of the loot collected. Sailblazers debuted a new trailer that was revealed. It is an open-world survival shop sim that is in early access as of June 11th. Players can engage with up to 8 in total to engage in an unforgiving island for building a thriving shop. The game launches officially September 29th this year, 2023. Eternite showed footage. It is a dating action game that infuses elements of Devil May Cry swordplay as well as Persona-style character development. Players will explore perilous dungeons and scavenge a wasteland to acquire resources. Dating takes place allegedly surrounding those activities. The game launches on September 21st this year, 2023. PAX Dei showed in-depth footage. The game takes on a unique approach to the typical RPG game, extending to lore, items, and storytelling. The game is inspired by real-life folklore and emphasizes player agency. The game has additional inspiration from a castle in Finland. Stampede Racing Royal showed footage, and it combines kart racing with fast-paced battle royale through an elimination-style game. Mars Horizon 2: The Search for Life debuted and is an expansion to its 2020 predecessor. Players can build space bases and design rockets, as well as manage staff and plan missions to hopefully discover life on other planets. The release window for this game is 2024. A gameplay trailer for Path of Exile's next game was shown. More details are soon to be revealed at ExileCon. See the source in the description for more details on ExileCon. Footage for Ferocious was shown. The game is a first-person shooter that takes place on an island considered deadly and filled with dinosaurs. The lead developer at Ferocious guides viewers through an action-adventure game that was inspired by films including King Kong and Jurassic Park. The game was also inspired by games including Far Cry and Crysis. Footage of Island of Insight was shown. It is a shared world and puzzle adventure that takes place in a mysterious fantasy realm. Players will discover puzzles and engage with other players to solve them. Players can travel on foot or fly over landscapes with wings of magic. Footage for Lords of the Fallen was shown. The channel will show this footage and details on a later episode of Last Week in Gaming. Footage for Naheulbeuk's Dungeon Master was shown. Players can build a lair of sorts and manage minions. Players will need to defend their individual dungeons against adventurers with intent to steal and loot. Players could also confront issues with human resources in this game. Footage for Mirachi Legends was shown. Players will take on a role as a detective that combats a sinister gang. The game is a 2D action platformer that is in development by a Mexico-based developer, Halberd Studios. The game is inspired by games including Katano Zero and Castlevania. The reveal of Warhammer Age of Sigmar Realms of Ruit occurred. First gameplay for the game was shown. The first beta weekend for the game is July 7th to 10th, with a second beta period not yet announced. The game is oriented towards fantasy, with warriors combating one another. Citizen Sleeper Steward Vector was revealed. It is a unique sequel to a cyberpunk RPG developed by Jump Over the Age. The game has a setting of a corporate-controlled world following the original Citizen Sleeper game. Critter Cove was shown, and the game takes place on a comfortable tropical island. This is a sim-based game infused with elements of Animal Crossing. The game has an open-world RPG style where players will rebuild and redecorate a town while exploring islands and harvesting resources. Hidden Door was introduced. This is an AI in-gaming project. The show included a discourse with Hillary Mason, founder and CEO in New York City. Hidden Door is an RPG storytelling platform that collaborates with authors and other creators. Hidden Door, as a business, pays these individuals to license their work into indefatigable, dynamic fan fiction that players can engage in together. Footage for Dread Pilots was shown, and is a new game from Klei. This game was inspired by Sid Meier's Pirates. Players in the game traverse through space and have opportunities to trade, explore, and fight. Footage for Miasma Chronicles was shown. This game is strategy-based, where players journey through New America. Miasma, a seismic event involving a toxic solution eradicating a majority of modern civilization, has torn through modern society. Players take on the role of Elvis and Diggs in the game. Footage for Undead Inc. was shown. Players run a corporation that oversees the creation of zombies through unethical lab experiments. This is a sim-based game. Players create super soldier serums and weaponize zombie viruses while keeping the government, public, and workers or employees in the dark. Footage for Altered Alma was shown. The game is set in futuristic cyberpunk Barcelona, where players battle through goons and kingpins. Players can upgrade cyberware, make new friends, and explore romance options as well. Invector Rhythm Galaxy was announced. This game is one of music, involving brightly colored tracks. The game can include up to 4 players in local co-op. A new trailer for The Invincible was shown. Viewers were able to see more of the environment in the game as well as the mysteries players will engage upon. The game has a glossy 1950s atom punk aesthetic. Park Beyond revealed a new trailer. The trailer showed additional wild rides of Visioneers that construct their own theme park. Players will plan their way through a campaign or sandbox. The game launches this month in June. Footage for Pathfinder Gallowspire Survivors was shown. The game is themed surrounding vampire survivors and based on a popular tabletop RPG. Players pick a class as either a fighter, rogue, or wizard. The game is cooperative with one other player to play with. Footage for Parcel Corps was shown. Players can ride walls and grind rails, taking on the role as a bicycle messenger. Players additionally take on delivery jobs that different corporations give, providing opportunity to the player to excel with speed through a city and must do so before recipients get tired of waiting. Footage for Fabledom was shown and is in early access. It is a city builder. Details were provided for the Art of Soldiery update. The upcoming Gallantry and Battering update was also teased. Chimera was revealed and is a sci-fi survival sim that takes place on an alien planet. Players must endure violent weather events that are destructive and weird. These events can lead to the discovery of new resources. 30XX was revealed, and it is leaving early access for a full launch in August this year, 2023. It is a Mega Man-inspired side-scrolling platformer with a roguelite mode. Levels are randomly generated, and there is permadeath. The game provides local and online co-op. Shadow Gambit: The Cursed Crew was announced and revealed by the Mimi Games. The game releases August 17th. However, a demo will become available at the Steam Next Fest, so therefore June. Players will attempt to complete a piratical heist to secure magical artifacts, and in doing so may alter the balance from tyrannical inquisitors towards themselves. Footage for Exo Rally Championship was shown. Players will drive perilously off-road that takes place in the galaxy. Players also speed through untamed planets that may have meteor strikes and volcanic eruptions. Footage for Stormgate was shown, a modern and classic real-time strategy game. Footage for Fortune's Run was shown. It is an immersive sim with a September 1st early access release date. A demo is available to try. The game has classic kicking and shooting combat. Hell Let Loose had an update, a first-person shooter. An objective mode is coming in its Devotion to Duty update. A shorter and faster game mode is also coming that will feature only up to 25 players. Viewers also were able to see the Brecourt Manor Assault map. Details of Vampire Survivors Update version 1.5 coming later was shown. Baldur's Gate 3 had an animated short as well as Dev Diary premiere at the show. Loran Studios provided viewers a more in-depth look into the game. Ember Knights was revealed and it is in early access. However, its official launch date is coming July 18th. The game has an impressive weapon arsenal and enemy roster. Ember Knights holding swords, bows, and skiths, even slash through hordes of enemies, is the game. TerraTech Worlds was revealed. It is a terrain technology-based world that is open world. It is described as a survival sandbox where players build their individual custom vehicles to use for exploring the vast and novel alien world. Players will combat enemies, acquire resources, and terraform unknown planets. Macabre was revealed, with a demo coming soon. It is a multiplayer stealth extraction horror game. Players take on survivors and are stranded in a dimensional rift. Earthless was revealed. The game is a new roguelike strategy deck builder. Players can command colony ships through space and search for a new place to call home. Players will engage enemies in combat that is grid-based and will need to maintain building a deck for tactical abilities and management of a crew. Nova Roman was announced. It is a new city builder in development by Lion Shield and will be published by Hooded Horse. Players will manage natural features such as water and cater to elite politicians and citizens in the game. Footage for Last Train Home was shown. It is a strategy game with a setting during the Russian Civil War. Players will guide an armored train across the Trans-Siberian Railway and protect their legion of Czechoslovakian soldiers. Footage for My Friendly Neighborhood was shown. This game is a colorful first-person shooter where players confront murderous Muppets in a setting of an abandoned television studio. The game releases July 18th, 2023. Footage from F1 Manager 2023 was revealed, sharing with players a scenario mode giving opportunity to relive significant moments of the current and real F1 season. This game is strategy-oriented for players to get their team to win. Footage for Breathedge 2 was shown, and it is a sequel to the original comedy adventure. The sequel, though, is more linear and presents itself as a survival sandbox. Players will build and manage a spaceship with a crew while working to survive on different planets. Bloomtown was revealed, and it is a life sim. The game takes place in a comfortable village that does not stay that way long. Players will engage frightening creatures to prevail turn-based battles. Footage for Sand was shown, and it has a unique setting. The game takes place in a dystopian open world and is a multiplayer survival game. The setting of the game is an alternate future where an Austro-Hungarian empire has discovered interplanetary travel with World War I on the horizon. Footage for Dune Awakening was shown, and it is a massive multiplayer game. The show includes a discourse with members of Funcom in Oslo, Norway. The studio developing the game details how the combat works and the roles players take on. There are details as well on how the factor of political power is represented in the game as well. There were game montages for Atomic Picnic, Goncho and the Grassland, Jorel's Broth, and the most important game of the galaxy, Mullet Madjack, Novel Lands, and Revival Recolonization. The channel has a source in the description for those montages. Well, that's it for this daily gaming update. You can look forward to a daily gaming update, specifically Part 3, for Sunday, June 18th on coverage of the Final Fantasy XVI pre-launch celebration live stream. Never miss a daily gaming update by subscribing to the channel on YouTube or selecting the follow button on your podcast service of choice. Let me leave you now with the words of Commander Shepard from Mass Effect. I should go.